Since they wanna know. Since they wanna know. I said since they wanna know. Here's the formula on O. Now let's go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday, January 21st, 2010 edition of the Logan Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Logan Miller, and I'm officially saying this will be our theme song for the show right now. Want to Know by Obi Trice. I think we're going to keep it that way for a while. Keep it the theme song. This is the first show we've had in a little bit. We've had some technical problems, but we will be getting back to our regular Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday order of the 3 day a week show, and this is Thursday night's show. So the first thing we're going to talk about, and the main thing we're going to talk about this show, is the NFL playoff picture. Last weekend, we sent the Jets versus the Colts to play in the AFC Championship game, and the Saints versus the Vikings in the AFC Championship game. So we got two really good matchups. Start off with the AFC Championship game. Jets, Colts in Indianapolis. The Jets have all the momentum in the world right now, but it's tough. I'm a huge Jets fan, but it's very tough. It's not easy for me to say, oh, the Jets have this game, because the Colts are going to give them. If the Jets win this, it's going to be a very close game. They're going to win maybe by a field goal. As far as predictions goes, I am going to take the Jets as a 3-point favorite. I'm going to say Jets 24, Indianapolis 21. And you may ask why. Well, there's a couple of things to this. This season, Mark Sanchez he threw 12 interceptions and 4 touchdowns against a base 4-3 defense, which is what the Colts play. It's going to give him some trouble because the biggest problem we had with Mark Sanchez this year was his interceptions and his control. And if he's playing against the defense he struggled with, it's going to give him some trouble. And the Colts, nobody's denying it, have a great defense. But I think the momentum and the experience he's learned in his first 2 playoff games might help him here. And I really think I've never seen a guy mature more in a 3-week span. The way he's matured, 4-week span, from today to the Atlanta game in week 15, the difference is just, it's night and day with Mark Sanchez. And I have to give a lot of credit to Brian Schottenheimer. He's done a very good job with the Jets offense. So I'm going to give the Jets the edge, but if the Colts win, I would not be shocked, and I wouldn't put money on the Jets winning. The Colts, Peyton Manning, just think about it. He's one of the best, if not the best quarterback of all time. 33 years old. He's already third in the all-time touchdown list. And the difference between him and a guy like Brett Favre, who holds the record, is he has control. In an interview I saw a couple of weeks ago, they said Peyton Manning takes his entire team out to dinner at least once a month. He's just, he's like a father figure to all the players, and there's so much control in that clubhouse that I think that the Colts can give the Jets some problems. They're a great team. There's no denying it. But I really think the Jets' momentum is going to give them the edge. And Rex Ryan, you know what? The guy's been right so far. Let's see what he can do. All right, let's move over to the AFC. We got the Vikings, Saints in New Orleans. All right, here's my prediction on this one. I'm going to say 35-28 Minnesota Vikings. Main reason, Brett Favre. 40 years old. He's having one of the best years of his career. Not maybe on the statistical aspect, when you look at touchdowns and yards per pass, things like that may not be his all-time best, but his control. He started to he was always the guy, Cy Young had 511 wins, but he also had 360-something losses. But the same thing happened with Brett Favre. Brett Favre had, tons of his touchdown to interception ratio was like, one touchdown to every 0.75 interceptions. And it was just terrible. Every year you expected him to throw interceptions with his touchdowns, but this year he's under control and it's amazing, a better quarterback than he was I've never seen him perform this well. And I really think with the combo of him, Adrian Peterson, and all of a sudden their wide receivers between Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin. I mean, they just have some great young wide receivers, and I really think this team can step it up. The Saints also have several injuries. Who was out? Jeremy Shockey, their tight end. He sat out in practice today. It's Thursday, and you know what? Towards the end of the week, guys who normally are 100% for Sunday feel good, and he's really supposedly not doing too good. So Sean Payton expects him to play, but we don't expect to see Shockey at 100%. You also have Darren Sharper, their safety. He's not 100%. So we'll see how this goes. I really am going to give the edge to the Minnesota Vikings because of the experience they have in their quarterback. Not that Breeze isn't bad. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I really see Brett Favre controlling this game. And the way they won last week, just, throwing when at the end of the game, throwing touchdowns when they didn't need to against Dallas, it just went to show you how much this team can really, they're just an unstoppable force right now. So I'm saying Vikings, Jets in the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens this Sunday. All right, before we go off on the show, two things got to watch this weekend, of course. And the NFL playoffs. We got the Jets at 3 o'clock. We got the other game in New Orleans at 6:30. Watch them both. I mean, the NFL is setting it up perfect for you, so you don't have to waste your day on Sunday. You can still hang out with people or do whatever you got to do. Take your kids somewhere, whatever you got to do early in the afternoon, and then you come home and watch some football. It's a great weekend to watch football. But the thing I'm going to talk about really quickly right now is how aggravated I am with the NBA. Allen Iverson has played, I think, like 8 games, 9 games this year, and he is the starting point guard in the NBA All-Star game, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. It just goes to show you that the fans' vote should not be trusted, and that we should do what we do for things like the Baseball Hall of Fame and have the Baseball Writers of America, or in this case, have basketball writers vote on who makes the All-Star game. I think it would make it fair and enjoyable. I mean, I'm not going to be enjoyed watching Allen Iverson, who's played 4 games, be in the All-Star game. It's just not enjoyable. Not excited for it whatsoever. And with that, we're going to conclude our show. I'm Logan Miller, Logan Sports Talk Show. Next show will be Sunday night after the New Orleans Viking game. We'll recap both games, talk about what's going on in the rest of the world. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Check the show out, Logan Sports Talk. Tell everyone about it. Everybody, have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday night.